Sky, so vast is the sky, with faraway clouds just wandering by. Where do they go? Oh, I don't know. Don't know. Wind that speaks to the leaves, telling stories that no one believes. Stories of love belong to you, belong to me. Oh, Gingy, if I only had words, I would say all the beautiful things that I see when you're with me. Oh, my Gingy. Oh, Gingy, like the song of the wind in the trees, that's how my heart is singing, Gingy. Happy Gingy, when you're with me. I love you more each day, yes I do, yes I do. I'd let you go away if you take me with you. Don't you know, Gingy, I'd be running and searching for you like a river that can't find the sea. That would be me without you, my Gingy. I love you more each day, yes I do, yes I do. And I let you go away if you take me with you. Don't you know, Gingy, I'll be running and searching for you like a river that can't find the sea. That will be me without you, my Gingy. Oh, Gingy. Oh, 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 ba-da-da, ba-da-da, oh. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Hey, Desiree, I see you. So, we are going to open a new class. And last time I did the class, I had 2 Saturday classes. And I would prefer, Desiree says hey. I would prefer that it be on a weeknight, like most jam sessions.
So I need to know what day of the week you would like. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If it's the case that more people would like the class to remain on Saturday, so be it. Our first class will start um, October. So except if everyone wants a Monday, it'll start on September 30th. But it'll start next week. So I want you to post in the chat what day of the week you would like so that you can so I can be accommodating, right? So it'll be at this time at 5 to 6 o'clock. And if we have 20 people, that fills up a class. And and not everyone will necessarily sing every week. Um, probably 3 or 4 will sing every class period. Um, but it all depends on what you guys want, because some people just want to passively listen and learn through osmosis, and then other people want to actively be working. So there's room for everybody. So probably 15 people in each class, if you will. So the pricing schedule, because the last class everybody didn't finish the class, and I think because they didn't have any skin in the game, I'm going to charge. And so the first person to log in to buy the course will get a free subscription. And the next 5 people will get a $5 subscription. It's a monthly subscription, right? And the next 10 people will get a $10 subscription, right? And that fills up the first class. Then the next 15 people will pay $15. Then the next 20 people will pay $20. And everyone after that will pay $25 a month to get in the class. So, those of you that don't necessarily have a lot of money to spend, you need to be one of the early adopters. If it's the case that um, you have the resources to, because I would like those cheaper options to go for places where people from places where the exchange rate for the US dollar is more difficult, like Southeast Asia, continental Africa. So, Europe, United States, North America should pay for the full classes and leave Central and South America, Southeast Asia, and continental Africa. Those places should be for those first few adopters. And but I'm not here counting anybody's coins. So it's really a matter of what you can afford. But if you want to be a singer, you have to invest. And so there are lots and lots and lots of online singing coaches. And how do you know you want a particular singing coach? You like the way that person communicates. You can understand what they're talking about. They speak to you calmly, they speak to you with love and compassion. They don't allow you to have a lot of negative self talk. Um, you also need a coach. You need a live coach, because just a singing program is not going to help you exercise. Just like you need a trainer to tone your body, you need a vocal coach to tone your voice. And it's not so that you can sound like Whitney Houston or Mariah Carey or any of these other big singers, because do we really want to be like those singers these days? Because we see what they had to do to get those spots. They had to do a lot of stuff that we don't necessarily want to do. But now we have the opportunity to invest in ourselves, and we can actually release music on our own. So, what I've been working on is my album. And so I'm loading up tracks in Ableton, and it's killing me. My God, you guys. Oh, I wrote the whole album inside of GarageBand and the notes app on my phone. And everything was all cute. Oop, 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 oop. Because I'm not an engineer. I'm not an audio engineer. I'm a session singer. I go into a studio. They pay me $2,000. I sing whatever's on the paper and I go home. And then they'll send me another $2,000 2 months later to renew the contract to use the song again. And then, if they like that, if that campaign is going well, they'll give me another $2,000, 4 months after I record it. And I don't even have to go back into the studio again. Right. So I'm thinking, oh, I can do this. Oh, I can make an album. Boop, 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 boop. Wrote all the songs. Y'all, it's killing me. So part of this, this opportunity of teaching you guys how to sing, I'm going to be showing you guys behind the scenes the struggle of learning Ableton, because I'm a garage baby, because I'm a Mac mama from day one. I've only bought Mac computers. I've never had anything other than that. I had to use a Chromebook when I started teaching during the pandemic, because that's what the kids were using. And so to figure out what they were able to do, I had to have a Chromebook and I had to play with all of those things. But outside of that, I've always had Mac phones, except when I lived in Indonesia, I had a Xiaomi and I forget the other phone I had when I lived in Indonesia and China. I'm telling you, those cameras are the bomb.com. Honey, I look gorgeous. No makeup. There's just a natural filter that comes with those things. But anyway, so I will be showing you guys the little bits of me going through this process. And so every week I'll have a video up crying about learning how to be an audio engineer on top of the process of singing and recording, because just being a singer is different than being a recording artist. They're two separate things. I'm a singer. I can sing Chinese, French, I can sing in any language, right? No problem. If you give me the audio, I can study it and I can make those sounds. But making those sounds sound good in a digital audio workstation, and that's what this is. That's what Ableton is. It's a digital audio workstation. And so you put in tracks. So this is a bass track. These are drum tracks. And the drummers, my God, they're like octopus. They just, they have 1.5 million things to do. So you got to load up all of that on top of then singing, and then making sure that once you get all the tracks, making sure that they're all aligned so it doesn't sound like a sandwich. It needs to sound like music, right? Because one person puts in one measure, one person starts with no measures, and you got to line everything up. It's killing me. Anyway, but I'm not quite sure what day that I'll post those videos on. So write in the comments, write in the comments what day of the week you would like to have the class. And once I have 15 people, I'll close that class and then open another class. But for all of the classes, because ultimately, my principal, because I'm working at an elementary school teaching music, full-time teacher, my principal, my first year, I was a princess. Honey, I could do no wrong. I was doing shows, I was doing recordings, I was doing websites with the kids where they could post the songs that they had created. And she's dog pissed mad at me because I put some adults out of my classroom that were trying to groom the kids, if you will. And so they would tell the kids inappropriate things, and I had a problem with it. And so the principal didn't support me. So I put them out at the end of last year. So now she's mad at me. So she cut my hours to half time. But I'm not mad at it because I'm still getting paid full time. So now I have the I have the emotional space that I can come back and offer this class again. That's why I haven't done it since the pandemic, because the school I was at when I started the class last time, I left that school because I got into a car accident and no one cared. I was riding my bike 22 miles each way to get to work, pedaling. Now, mind you, it was a wonderful high. Like, I would get to school and I would be buzzing. Like, that adrenaline rush from exercise is amazing, because it take me a half hour, 45 minutes to ride there. Um, but I got into a car accident and no one cared. And I was like, oh. And I didn't like the most of the staff, and I didn't like a lot of people there. So it was just like, I need to get out of here. So I found this wonderful school where I love, oh my gosh, I love these kids. They're nuts. They're all crazy. But they sing, and like today, one of my special ed kids, when I first went into his class, he hated me. Like, I would come into the classroom and he'd be like, and so he pretended like he had this sound sensitivity, and he would put on big, huge headphones so that he couldn't listen to what we were doing in the classroom. And then at the end of last year, his teacher pulled the class from the music program because I had to keep changing the schedule, because we didn't have a set calendar so that we could manage everything that needed to happen. So at the beginning of this school year, we had this big meeting where we had to schedule everything so that we wouldn't have to say, oh, well, let's move this for testing. Oh, let's move this for this field trip. My schedule is going to be the same schedule for the entire year. So she brought her kids back into the class. And so this particular student, we wrote a school song today, because we don't have a school song, which is silly, and we're a music magnet. And I said, okay, so let's play the chord changes. We did G, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, right? And I said, okay, so who's going to, after we played all the way through it, I said, now who's going to sing it? He rose his hand. I looked around the room. I tried to look over him. Mind you, last year, I knew that he hated me. Oh, okay. Oh, Desiree. Okay. But because you're the first and only commenter, Saturday it is. So it'll probably be, I'm not quite sure yet. But I'll know once I finish talking. So I looked around the room, I scanned across the students, and I tried to, because there's some kids that really love to sing, and I tried to look at them. They were like, He still had his hand raised. I was like, okay, come on up. Lord, the boy sang. The boy sang beautifully. He's got the sweetest little angelic voice. And so because he was the singer, he had to then be the band leader. And so I said, okay, so now you have to count. He said, 1, 2, 3, 4. I said, oh, no. Do you see all these people? There's 20 kids in here. You have to be loud, because you have to be loud enough for them to hear you. So he's like, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the kids hollered back, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then they started playing the introduction. And then he started singing. I was like, ah! I wanted to holler, but I needed him to finish singing. And it was beautiful. And so those 2 years or a year and a half of classes, even though he wasn't actively participating, passively, he was developing confidence and comfort. And he did such an amazing job. I hate that he's in the 5th grade, because this is my last year working with him, but at least he's showing that I'm showing up. I'm doing what I need to be doing so that I can always call on him, because I now know he's comfortable with making mistakes. He's comfortable with standing in his own space and standing in his own body. And that's what you all need to do. You need to show up. You need to show out. And the thing of it is that having an online coach, you can actually work through those issues, because you need a live body to help give you that feedback. Also, you're going to have to record yourself. If you don't record yourself, there's no way for you to know if, in fact, you're good or not. And you don't want to sound like anybody else, because Mariah Carey is Mariah Carey because she sounds like Mariah Carey. I sound like Omega Bone. Desiree is going to sound like Desiree. I don't need you to sound like anybody else. I need you to sound like you. You need to show up as your best self. And don't try to sound like anybody else. Like stylistically, you can have some influences. Like the album that I'm making, I let my sister hear a song and I let some other people hear some songs. One person said that I sound like Macy Gray. One person said I sound like Michelle Indigagio-Cello. And they're both in the same kind of deep, raspy thing, even though my speaking voice is very high. But I have to speak high because I'm a teacher. And so talking all day long, if I were to talk down here, I'd have no voice to sing. So I speak up here so that I'm speaking on my breath so I can have more time to, I have more ability to speak for a longer period of time. So I say that to say, come join us on this weekend or probably Friday. We will launch the page to buy the class. I will probably go live again on Thursday to help gain more traction, or maybe I'll go live tomorrow too. I probably should go live every day this week. So in the class, we are going to sing, 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 sing. And we'll probably start with a warm up. Then people will jump in and sing. You need to have something else. You need to have an external device to play your music. You cannot play music from your computer and sing into the computer. It doesn't work. So you need to have your music playing from another device. Like you could have a TV playing your music. You can sing a cappella, but singing a cappella does not provide you the opportunity to mark improvement. Because if you use a track, the track isn't going to change, but you can change within the track. And sometimes you might need to raise the key so that it's a little bit higher or a little bit lower, right? So just depending on where you are, right? I'm trying to think, anything else? Okay, well, we have one vote for Saturday. I have to figure out what time because I now have a virtual assistant, Jean, my girl, Jean. So if my website looks different and some of my marketing materials see, that's Jean. If some of those things, because she'll probably redo all of these things because I designed this and it's not that cute. Or over here, it's mirrored. So she's going to make all of this stuff look very new. I'm opening a new channel on YouTube because my omegabone.com one has problems. So I opened up a Learn to Sing channel and I'm going to leave the Facebook group. I'm going to keep it open and post stuff in there, but it's full of people that actually are not involved, actually don't want to post, actually don't want to work. And so I don't want to be in there. So I'm going to leave it open till December when I release the album. And then once I release the album, I'm going to close it. And so I've also opened a Come With Me channel on YouTube because that's the name of the album. And so probably tomorrow, I'll let you guys hear me working because I got to figure out how to do this Ableton thing. Like, it's killing me. I don't want to learn. I'm old and I don't want to learn new stuff, but you got to learn. So anyway, there's other people in the chat and they haven't commented below. See, and those are the same people that are in the Facebook group that are not participating. And so that's why I have to charge. That's why I have to get away from the Facebook group because it's a lot of people that are not serious. And I only really want serious people. So people that are committed to being singers. Okay. And it's not about being Whitney Houston because those people killed her. Right. The things that you have to do to be a superstar are different than being a singer. You want to be a singer. I'm here to train singers. I am not here to make superstars. I can show you how to make money as a singer, as a session singer, working in a studio, as a live singer, working with bands, working in clubs, doing wedding gigs. Because when I lived in Japan, between November and December of every year, I would make 30,000 US dollars in 2 months. And that would be me taking cabs from weddings to clubs to parties. I would do maybe 1 or 2 studio gigs a month. And the whole rest of the month, I was working from about noon in the afternoon till about 2 o'clock in the morning. I would be doing a wedding, a luncheon, a party, and then my regular club gigs. $30,000 in 2 months when I lived in Japan. I wouldn't dare try to work like that here in Los Angeles because Los Angeles is nasty, as we all know now. I knew, but everybody knows now. Between the music entertainment and Hollywood, just a lot of nastiness. And they would all party together and they would all do the same nasty things. So we don't want to be a part of that. But over the course of the next 2 months, I will be talking about how to make money, how to land jobs with bands and wedding companies and all the likes, in addition to actually how to train your voice. And so how to make your authentic voice, because what's her name? I said her name earlier. What's her song? Anyway, but you don't have, like, Bob Dylan is not a great singer, but we love to hear him tell his stories. So if you can find the story within your song and you can find your voice within to deliver that story, that is what's going to help people. Just saying, ooh, baby, baby is not the business. Okay. You got to sing, you got to tell a story. You have to be of service to people for them to buy your music, because songs are a way to deliver an experience, an atmosphere. Like slaves back in the day would sing work songs to let the day move faster and to keep them together, synchronized, so that they could put together the railroad across the United States. Fishermen, in Japan, they have these row songs that would help them stay together so that they could row and get through the rough waters, right? And so you have to provide an experience. You have to tell a story. And so if it is like TikTok, which is purely mindless entertainment, you have to be so entertaining, right? And if you are that character, so be it. You just have to decide who you are and deliver that experience to your audience. Okay. So I got Desiree's vote for Saturdays. This will be up for the rest of the week. Oh, it's going to stay up because this is the first video on the new channel. Make sure that you comment and subscribe and tell a friend to come and join this new opportunity. And so probably I'll see you guys again tomorrow. And hopefully I'll have some singing done. Hopefully I'll figure out this whole Ableton mess. And yeah, so right now it looks like our first class will be on Saturday, not the 29th, or maybe it will be the 29th. I guess we should just go ahead and get started. I guess we can. So right now, the vote is for Saturday. So if you watch this broadcast after Tuesday, September 24th, post your vote in the comments. And so Jean and I will be harvesting the comments and seeing your votes and your comments about what you'd like to do. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me, and Jean and Desiree. Hello, my darling. See you soon. And everybody else, ciao. Don't forget to put down in the comments what you would like. Okay? All right. Bye, everybody.